Happy holidays, and welcome to my Christmas special for 2018. In this video, I'll be killing the Dungeon Guardian to get the Bone Key. In order to defeat it, I will be using the UFO mount, or the Cosmic Car Keys, because they can go just barely faster than the Guardian. The weapon I'm using is the SDMG, or the Space Dolphin machine gun with an endless musket pouch because, although the Dolphin is fast, the Dungeon Guardian can only take 1 damage per bullet, or 2 for critical hits. I'll have to go back and forth across the sky 4 or 5 times. The problem is trying to change direction. To easily do this, I'll use the Rod of Discord, which teleports you to the cursor's position, but you probably knew that. However, I know that 10 minutes of watching me kill the Dungeon Guardian will just not be very fun, so I'll explain some things about what I'm doing, while I leave the video in the corner. Alright, I'm in the Terraria Wiki right now, and I'll read some stuff about it. You can see that the Dungeon Guardian drops a bone key every time, which is what I really want from it. Dungeon Guardians are enemies that guard the dungeon against intruders. If a player enters a dungeon without first killing Skeletron and travels below 0 depth, a horizontal invisible border separating the surface from the underground, 1 or more Dungeon Guardians quickly flood the player, dealing 1000 or 2000 in expert mode damage each, which effectively kills most players instantly. Dungeon Guardians are large, very fast, and travel through all blocks. Good to know. I've killed the Dungeon Guardian on the Xbox 360, so I knew that any player who attacks a Dungeon Guardian, regardless of the weapon or other equipment, with the exception of Frostburn items on the mobile version, will deal only 1 damage, or 2 for critical hits. I already explained that. I'll go to something I don't know. Here are the notes for it. The only way to survive being hit once, without dodging, is if you have maximum defense, beetle armor with shell, and chosen accessories for 91 defense and 45% damage reduction. Even with this setup, you cannot survive 2 successive hits. Wait, it says you can survive 2? What? You can survive 2 successive hits with a different but similar setup. Beetle armor with that stupid. Okay, here's something that makes sense. It travels at a speed of 41 miles per hour, so using a Cosmic Car Key is useful against it as the UFO mount travels at the same speed. Actually, not quite. The Dungeon Guardian travels at a speed of around 40.5 miles per hour. Okay, the Unicorn mount's speed reaches 61 miles per hour. Well, I know the Unicorn mount, and it takes time to get up to full speed. Plus, you would need a really long row of platforms or blocks to actually kill the Dungeon Guardian like that. Ugh, all the other notes are boring, but I know that trivia isn't. Originally, actual Skeletron heads were used to guard the dungeon. Killing all Skeletron heads would count as defeating Skeletron, so the Dungeon Guardian was created to repair this unintentional behavior. Hold on, it says it was first introduced in desktop 1.0.5. Who could have possibly beaten the Skeletron heads? Despite being initially intended to be unbeatable, it is not invulnerable like spike balls, blazing wheels, and true eyes of Cthulhu. I'm pretty sure those were introduced later, so the developers knew how to make them invulnerable. It has no corpse on the desktop, console, and old generation console, but mobile and 3DS, the remains of Skeletron's hands will appear upon its death. That would be cool if it dropped hands for everyone. I don't think there's much else to read in this article.